Morning everybody, welcome back to the channel. Saturday morning, just out for a little dog walk. Probably our last weekend before we start drilling. Assuming we get the test results back from our beans, the plan is to start with some winter beans. They're becoming an increasingly important part of our rotation, and I'm less keen on muddling them in, and I'd like to get them in good conditions. It has led to a little bit of a debate about our chemical weed control strategy with my agronomist, but we'll cover that when it happens. But the plan is we're going to start with winter beans, hopefully roll them in ideal conditions, and then also that will help delay us and help us hold our nerve whilst we wait for a bit more moisture, better efficacy on the conventional preems for winter wheat, and then we'll start drilling middle of October. So that's the plan, to start with some winter beans. But in the meantime, I'm just out here seeing the after effects of stubble raking the winter beans. So this has had 2 passes with the stubble rake, still a little bit of a trash. Certainly bean haulm is a real challenge for most drills, but especially disc drills, direct drills. This is very fibrous and tends to get stuck between the coulter and the disc, so that's a challenge. It's soft and friable on the surface, plenty of moisture. In fact, I think we're already into sausage category there, sausage status. The occasional germinating bean, not too much though, generally quite clean. Obviously some black grass coming through. And one of the benefits of being here is that it also gives us an insight into how that summer cover crop did after the rye. Obviously it's not ideal, it's not complete, it's quite good on this side. So I'm proposed that we have a walk over there and take a look at it closer up. Okay, we're now just in that cover crop field. So as my pointer is demonstrating, there really are quite a lot of pheasants down here, and I wonder if it's as a benefit of the ground not being disturbed or worked throughout their breeding period. So maybe some beneficial insects for them to munch on in their cover crop. So that's just good to see. And I saw some deer at the far end, so good to see a little bit of environmental benefit for what has otherwise been a financially neutral crop. This is the short work at the bottom. We have a watercourse behind this hedge, and the field slopes quite significantly down to here, and then it's kind of flat in the bottom. As a result, this is quite wet, and so we've got this down to an AB15 legume cover, and as you can see, the red clover's done quite well. Fades out a little bit as it gets closer to the cover crop. So these are the strangely barren strips. We've actually come back through with our cover crop mix, and as you can see, the buckwheat is coming through, just to pep this up a little bit. But what are we, just a couple of meters to the left, you've got some good vetches, mustard, got some interesting stuff in here. It's all pretty big. Certainly will have done some rooting. Be interesting to pull up one of these, but I'm a little bit concerned. Some of these mustards, sometimes I've heard people worrying about seed return for mustard. It's not something I've ever particularly noticed, but then on the other hand, if I'm not growing rape in my rotation, then it's a less of an issue for uric acid levels and stuff like that. But certainly it's got a bit of colour, and there'll be a bit of a nectar source out here. So an interesting opportunity, but not really sure why these barren places have occurred. I thought I'd just pull up one of those rather scary looking mustards and see what their root ball was, and actually it's pretty good, including a worm right in the middle there. It's quite a big fella actually, because he goes in there and he comes out that end. So yeah, good couple of earthworms there, serious bit of rooting, and in fact there are a couple more earthworms there. The big fella still in root ball, and hopefully with the mole ploughing as well, this will be an interesting field next year. I am going to just drill into the green. I'll glyphosate this off and drill straight in. That might create some challenges as far as slug control, but especially with stalks like this, they create, again, look at that, an earthworm straight away. It creates a very good place for slugs to hide, but we shall see. Certainly a bit of biomass being returned.